Good morning. I want to thank everyone for joining us today in our 2015 formal kickoff of our neighborhood code review. Again, I started in the office, Mayor, 4 years ago, talked about our code enforcement operation and doing that in a coordinated manner, in an ongoing manner. It's not a one event solves all the problems. This is a multi-year campaign where we are having an impact in our neighborhoods, but we have to continue to do that. We want to, again, encourage home ownership. We want to encourage people to maintain their property. And when they do that, it creates real value and it actually reduces the cost of the municipal services. I was just talking to the police chief that a lot of people think of the police as the one that are going to solve the problem. But when we call for the police, it generally means everything else has failed. Common sense, just being a good neighbor, maintaining your property, and that you've created an environment that unfortunately requires interdiction from law enforcement. And so today we will again start this where we will move through the neighborhoods in Schenectady. We're going to start in Goose Hill, where we remind people, point out some of the smaller problems. We want to work with homeowners, building owners, to allow them to fix up their property. If those individuals choose not to act in an affirmative manner, we are going to go after them with the full resources of the city. And again, it's the message we want to get out, where people who want to work with us, we want to work with them, and it really works to everyone's advantage. Those individuals that put their interest really above the common sense and the good of the community, I don't want them here as property owners. And again, we're going to do whatever we can to enforce and make sure that the appropriate penalties are put upon them. Now I'd call on Chief Kilcullen, who is really becoming a leader in terms of managing police resources. You know, you've spearheaded DDAX here, which is data-driven policing, but the chief is doing that in a manner where we're setting an example, not only of the deployment of resources within the city of Schenectady, but as we integrate that with other departments and agencies within the community, it's producing results. Our Part 1 crimes are down over the last 4 years, about 25%. It's a model that other communities look to see what we're doing. We're setting an example, and I'm proud of the job that, Chief, that you're doing and the men and women of the police department. Chief Kilcullen.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mayor referred to our DDAX program, and if you haven't heard, DDAX is our data-driven approaches to crime and traffic safety. And I've spoken about it a lot at our neighborhood association meetings over the last couple of years. And what we do is we map out our crime, we map out our crashes, and we see where they're occurring at the same time, identify our hot spots, and we put resources in those areas to, again, reduce crime and reduce crashes, especially crashes involving injury. And one of the concerns with the neighborhood associations, the neighborhood group specifically, is if you're putting more resources in those hotspots, what's happening to my neighborhood? And we're not taking resources from neighborhoods where we don't have hotspots. We're putting additional resources there. This is not a DDAX hotspot, but again, we're looking to enhance the quality of life in all of our neighborhoods. Again, we've identified our hotspots and need to put additional resources in those areas, but still need to focus on all the other neighborhoods in the city. And that's what we're doing here today. So again, we're sharing, we're doing the analysis, we're sharing all that information, all our analysis with other city departments, really to enhance the quality of life in a particular neighborhood. And so we're starting here today. We've done this now with our analysis for almost 3 years now, and we've had some real success. In terms of, Mayor mentioned Part 1 crime, we tend to see a greater reduction in crime and crashes in our hotspots than elsewhere. And the reason we're sharing the information with other departments is that we don't have all the resources to reduce those numbers, specifically with the police department, but other city departments do. So we share that information with our code enforcement, with our traffic engineering. So, as I said, our crashes involving injury were brought down by about 40% last year. So if we've identified hotspots where our crashes are occurring, and we're doing additional enforcement, there are other reasons for those crashes. It might be signage, it might be poor signage, it might be old signs. So we're looking to work with other departments to enhance the quality of life, reduce crashes, reduce crime. As I said, that's what we're doing here today. We've had some success. We're going to continue that throughout the city. So thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Mayor. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Chief. And again, building code, its primary goal is to create a safe environment for people to live and for businesses to operate. And so when people think they're going to do something quick or it bypasses the building code, there's usually a repercussion from that. And all too often when we have a major fire and incident, it is related to the building code that has not been adhered to. When we're sending this message out where we want to work with people, we want people to be safe. We want them to, again, maintain their property so that we're not sending the fire department there at 2 o'clock in the morning to deal with an issue of a major fire or a life-threatening situation. As Chief Ray Senecal, who commands one of the best departments in the state, actually the best department in the state, right? Chief on the other side, but thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Threw a little curve at you there. We'll talk a few minutes about what our role is today in the codes operation. We would like to be here, be there early on. That would be today. So we're there when you're not having a fire, when you don't have any issues of that nature. We're there in emergency situations. So today we're going to be looking at smoke detectors, working smoke detectors, batteries in the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. We like to make sure that we have those and they're in place, and their batteries are actually the detectors and not anything else. Look for areas of access and egress, that is things being stored near the doors and actual overall clutter in the building. So there again, this is very positive for us. We like to get out early and take a look at things going on so we don't, as the mayor said, meet at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for a structure fire. So more important than detection is prevention, and that's our role here today, is to actually prevent an issue from happening rather than reacting to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Again, want to thank everyone for coming out this morning. I want to again point out that this is not a single day event, just doing the formal kickoff today, but it is an ongoing undertaking by the city in a coordinated manner to produce long-term and sustainable results. I thank again everyone for being here. I thank the staff who do really a great job every day on behalf of the residents of the city of Schenectady. Thank you.